Hey guys, it's Julia. So today I'm going to be doing a kind of different sort of video. I have decided to do a story time video with me just because I thought this story needed to be shared with the booktube community because I just always seem to think about it and I just thought that people in the booktube community would appreciate it and hopefully find it entertaining. So this story starts about a year and a half ago-ish, whenever City of Heavenly Fire came out. So I had this group of friends, and basically there's only like one person in that group who wasn't obsessed with the Mortal Instruments. Like some of us, like me and one of my friends, had started reading it that year, and then some of my friends have been reading it since like it first came out. So all of us were just enthralled with it, and we were so obsessed with it. We're like, we want City of Heavenly Fire. We want it now. Give it to us, please. We need it to survive. The day comes around where City of Heavenly Fire comes out. And we were all talking about it at school because obviously we couldn't go and get it before school, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get it after school. I'm gonna go get it after this, you know, and like everyone's freaking out. And then the next day everyone comes to school, like all these like grade 9s sitting in the cafeteria just like Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. So there's just like this group of grade 9s sitting in the cafeteria just like reading this book, and it's like people are all around us talking and eating, and it's like 8:15 in the morning and we're all just reading this book and reading it and reading it. And it was a really cool time just because everyone was reading the book and everyone was loving it and everyone was talking about it and everyone was like, no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers, because we were all at different parts of it. So it was a very wonderful and rather intense time period. This time of the year obviously was near to the end of the year. So we were all kind of prepping for exams and things like that, but it wasn't at the point yet where it was like cramming for exams. It wasn't like our exams are tomorrow, we need to know everything. So we were all kind of like, okay, we can read in class, you know, we can do that. And you know, normally teachers don't mind if you read in class as long as you're like done your work or done whatever you're doing. So we were like, okay, we're gonna read. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. We're all gonna read City of Heavenly Fire, and it's gonna be a beautiful, lovely City of Heavenly Fire cult going on all through our high school. And we were all getting farther into it, and we were all getting into the really interesting parts of it, and we spent like all our breaks talking about it. I know grade 9 was one of those years. One day, we all go into French class. We have a test, I think the last test of the year in French class, the last one. So after this test, we have our exams, and we have like an exam review booklet, and we have like our textbooks and things like that. And we all studied for this test. We go in and we all write our tests, sit at our like little table groups, like our dividers up, and we all just write it. And then once we're all done, it seems like in French class we just wait a long time for the test to be over. Instead of like everyone's done the test, she's like, take your dividers down. By the end of the year, she's like, at the end of a test, my French teacher's like, okay, whatever, just leave them up. We're just gonna keep them up till the end of the class. My next class has one, it's fine, we can just leave them up. Obviously, once we finish, we're all like, City of Heavenly Fire, we must consume it. We must fill our brains with the Shadow Hunter glory. I wanna say there's like 5 of us in that class reading that book. And this is not a small book. This is a substantial book. It's pretty big. It's a hardcover, you know. Slowly, all of the people reading City of Heavenly Fire just like open their books like under their desks after the tests are done. So they've all been completed. So our teacher knows we're done them. And we go sit at our desks, and we're just like under our desk. City of Heavenly Fire is just like open, and we're just reading. We're all having a grand old time because, you know, done our last French test of the year, got City of Heavenly Fire to enjoy. Life is good. So our teacher begins like walking around, and we're all kind of like, okay, like my French teacher is a lovely woman, but sometimes she can be a little strict. We're kind of hiding it beneath our desks. But we're like, whatever, she won't care. She goes up to my friend who is sitting across from me, behind the divider, but across from me. And she gets so mad at my friend reading City of Heavenly Fire. She just goes off on her. She's like yelling at her. She's really upset. She's like, you should be studying for your exams, which I understand we should have been doing, but City of Heavenly Fire. And like, we just finished a test. There's like 15 minutes in class. Just let us read. She takes my friend's book. So at this point, all of us reading are like, oh, no, okay, we need to put these away. We need to not let her see that we have these giant books. So we all kind of like very slowly like close them on our desks and like scooch them to the corner of our desk area. And then she comes around to me and she's like, you too, Julia. And like, I give her my book. And she literally goes around to like all 5 of us with City of Heavenly Fire and takes each one of our books and then takes them back to like this. It's a big stack, like 5 of these is a lot. So she takes all 5 of them and just like puts them on her desk in this stack, and she just has this stack of City of Heavenly Fires just sitting on her desk, and these like 5 students just sulking in her classroom, and she just has this stack. I just remember this like 5 City of Heavenly Fires just piled on her desk. Like, it was, oh man, it was so funny. I kind of wish I took a picture, but then I didn't because I'd probably get caught and then get in even more trouble than I was before. So we just had this stack of City of Heavenly Fires on our desk. And then after we get out of that class, everyone is so mad. They're like, she took our books. We need to read them. We need to know what happens. Like, some of us were at a really intense part. We can't survive till the end of the day without our books. And we were also rattled. But then I had half day. So I was like, I can't come at the end of the day to pick up my book. So I go in and I'm like, hey, can I get my book back? Because I'm not gonna be here until tomorrow and I really want to read my book overnight. And she just like rolls her eyes and she's like, fine, take it. Just like hands my book back, and I like clasp it in my arms as to never lose it again, and I just like run out of her classroom. Moral of the story here, if you ever finish your French test ahead of everyone else, don't read a really big book in the eyesight of your teacher because they'll get rattled. I don't know why I felt the urge to share it with you, possibly because school just started and I just had French class today and I was just like remembering this lovely memory because I had the same French teacher 2 years later. I love you guys so much and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!